hello and welcome to another Heads Up against Sekkei. It's been a while since we've done this. I think I have like 7 videos in the backlog that I haven't actually uploaded. I guess I will upload them eventually, but I'm not so sure about that. Because, not a lot of people are actually interested in watching them. I can upload them for Sekkei's sake, because he can then watch them, but that would just give me a lot of disadvantage because he would learn more about my play and my thinking in our cash games. Talking about our cash games, in the last 2 months, I think a bit less, I'm up 655 euros on a blind level of 25 cents. But the last 2 times I lost 40 and I lost 10, basically due to bad beats. Can't say anything else like that. Holy shit, why the hell does the final table look like this these days? It looks ugly. So he's back to his 3-betting things. We get a flush draw, so we're definitely gonna continue when he bets here, which he will. Like, he's always gonna bet here. Flush enters, and we have the nut flush. Let's see what he does. Let's raise it. Let's make it a bit obvious that we're probably scared of the flush. I think if I call there, he can't actually bluff on the river anyway. I mean, I had the nuts, I could have slow played it, but was thinking about not slow playing it this time. Because if I just call there, it seems really trappy. Compared to re-raising, it seems a bit less trappy. Jack 3 always folding. Yeah, like that in the cash game. I have King Jack, guy has Jack 4, he open raises. I call, and of course the flop comes Jack 4, 3 or something. Like, then he acts like he played well. Come on, dude, you opened with Jack 4 off. How can that ever be a good play? And then getting weak called by someone, a hand he should never have called. But he did, and then I got punished for it. Because he had like 24%, he had 11 outs. He decided to run it twice, like I don't care, he decided to run it twice and then twice hit the cards he needed. It was a huge pot, like in hindsight, he realized that his call was very loose because in the best situation he only had 30% hand. Do 7, yeah, nah, not gonna play that. I mean, don't see why I would. Jack 10, obviously gonna call here. Could have 3-bet, but I'm out of position. We hit the 10, so we're probably good. So let's raise here. See what he does. And he folds. Yeah, it was standard C-bet, standard check raise there. I just want the hand to finish there and gain some information. Like, if I lead out, he probably is gonna do more to me. I have an ace, so I'm definitely calling. Hit a pair. The 10 is definitely in his range though, and he could have 8, 9, but I don't think I can fold a 7 here. Like, even if he bets here, I'm just gonna call again. Yeah, 10 could be in his range because he could have 9, 10, 10 jack, 8, 9, but he could also have 7, 8. And in that case, I'm screwed. Nah, it's only a 4 that matters. He's gonna take a bluff at his spot. Let's see what he had. Oh, so he had 2 pair. Okay, so yeah, 5-10 is 3-betting range, huh? He 3-bets way too often. Like, as I said, it's definitely in his 3-betting range. That 10. Maybe I should have laid it down. Maybe I should have just 4-bet him. Queen, not gonna fold it. Hit the queen. Only scared of a 6. The king is a bit scary, but I guess we can take a stab at the spot here. He calls, sees that I have the queen, slow played it really hard. Probably called me with ace high or something. Queen 5 suited on the button. Not sure what he's thinking about here. And another 3-bet, really. I'm just gonna start 4-betting him when I have really good hands. Like any ace, any really good hand, I'm just gonna 4-bet him. Because he's been doing this way too often. It has to be punished. Standard c-bet, I guess. Yeah. He never ever not c-bet. I don't know why. Like if you c-bet 100% of the time, it can be heavily abused. Jack 10, really good hand. Yeah, here he goes. As I said, I'm actually willing to go all in with this hand because I think it's good. 240, so let's make it something like 650. Just say, hey man, you've been 3-betting way too often, fuck off. And Jack 10, even if he shoves, I'm just gonna call. Like, Jack 10 real plays nice against an overpair. If he shoves, he probably has ace king and I have a 40% hand. So yeah, even if he shoves, it's a definite call. Maybe saying that it's a definite call is a bit of an overstatement, but yeah, he finally gives it up. So he realizes that there was outline there. 4-3, not gonna call here, hate the hand. Well, not hate it, but even heads up, I don't think it's worth calling there. Blinds are still low, so could do it, but seriously, dude, it's getting annoying. So we flopped up 2, definitely gonna make the call here. Let's make it 5-6 or something. If he shoves, I'm insta calling. I have 2 pair. He probably could have hit ace there. That's a bit of an annoying card, but I can't give up now. He calls and sees that I have 2 pair and folds. Yeah, maybe you should stop your 3-betting, dude. So he definitely hit the ace. C-bet, hit his ace, and thought he was good there, but he obviously wasn't. Surprised that I obviously called with 9-7, but it's just that his 3-betting range is way too wide at this point. That I'm calling with way too many hands. And not way too many hands, I'm just calling with a huge range of hands. I understand why you would 3-bet, because you don't wanna play that hand out of position. But 3-betting with 10-5 suited, seriously, like, those are just terrible plays. Got jacks here, monster. He just calls. 1 overcard, so not gonna be scared of that. I could have a flush draw. Second overcard is a bit of a scare card. Like, I'm gonna pay him off if he leads out here, but I don't think I can fold it right now. He just calls on that flop, so a heart would be really good. Not putting him on a queen here. Could definitely have a king. I'm gonna call it off, as I said. Yeah, he definitely hit a king. No clue why he floats there with king 5, but okay. Like, that's also one of his flaws, I think. He floats way too often. He thinks that floating is needed, and does it with terrible hands. Like in this case, he did it with 1 overcard and not even a flush draw. Like, if the king doesn't come, what is he gonna do? He's gonna give it up on the turn. Like, there's only 1 card that he can consider to be good, and don't think it was a good play. I don't think you wanna float with king 5 there. You wanna float with a hand that actually has something. Like, even if a king comes, I could have king queen. Like, he could have already been beat. Let's 3-bet him. We obviously don't do it that often, so he should give it a bit more respect than I give it to him. We hit our 6, so we're gonna lead out here. He can definitely put us on an ace, so although we just have the 6, he can give us an ace here and fold. So that's a reason to continue there, and I already had a pair, so the fact that he didn't snap call and not putting on an ace, we have a backdoor flush as well. Jack 10, decent hand. He's gonna 3-bet here, because that's what he does. And I'm gonna snap call. Yep, there we go. We flop an open ender and a flush draw, so I'm obviously gonna bet here. If he shoves, I'm insta calling. I don't see why I wouldn't. We have a monster, or at least a really good hand. We have the fort not flush draw, and an open ender. We would only be drawing that if we had like ace x of diamonds. But I don't think I can fold it there. Would have just been a bit of cooler. Queen 6 on a button. Definitely gonna raise. Hit the queen, so continue for about half the pot. He calls it off. I'm gonna continue again. It's 7 actually doesn't do much. Like it doesn't complete any straight. Queen 7 already had me beat anyway, so 4-3. No, not gonna play this. As I said before, don't really like the head out of position heads up. Gotta give up some hands sometimes. Like 4-3 on the button. And this is why I need a very rare game. Like if I button raise every single time, his 3-betting range increases. So if I fold a hand like that, his 3-betting range should decrease. But he doesn't. Like it's just a flaw in his game. Or one that I consider to be a flaw in his game. Like you should always do other things there. Have an open ender. If he c-bets here, I would find it weird because this is a really hard board to ever bluff on. 4 doesn't change much, but I'm gonna call him off here again. If nothing comes, I'm just gonna bet on the river. Depending on his bet size here. Let's just call and then bet on the river. So let's bet like 560. It's a bit over half. He should be able to lay down his hand here. Yeah. Like we totally missed, but I mean it's worth taking a steal there. We called him twice. He knows good enough that that board is really scary, and I would never float twice unless I have something. And with the board pairing on the 7, that was actually a pretty good card for me to come. 4-6, it's suited, so definitely want to see a flop. We totally missed and we're gonna fall to a c-bet. But if you go through all the previous videos, you will automatically see that he almost always c-bets, and I don't think you should. Like there are some boards that you don't want to c-bet on. King 4, normally I would button raise, but I am gonna slow it down a bit here. Shifting gears, playing a bit more tight, and slowing it down. Queen 7, just gonna flat call out of position. Totally whiff, but I think I'm gonna float once. Ace comes, which is actually a pretty good bluff card. So let's see what it does here. He knows good enough that I consider this a really good bluff card and can perceive this as a bluff. And he knows that I know that. So yeah, that's some kind of leveling I think there. Just because we have an insane amount of hand history. Deuce 4, I'll fold. Six, 7 suited, definitely just flat calling. We flop an open ender with a backdoor flush. One of our open enders is bad though, because usually the 10 wouldn't be that good. We now get our flush draw, but we're gonna give up this hand. Like if he bets, we're just gonna fold. There's not much I can get here. Like if I wanted to take the pot, I should have bet at it myself, and I don't think he's gonna bet there again. If he 3-bets me now, I'm golden. Just a king, so not much there. He could have an ace high or something and call me off here. But he folds, so he probably didn't have anything. And as I said, he knows that I hate paired boards, that I usually don't play them aggressive. I really dislike paired boards. I think I usually want to play it really tight because it's a way ahead, way behind situation, and it's a really risky maneuvers to be playing there, and I avoid those kind of situations. I think it's pretty easy to slow play a real big hand there. And that's why with the double paired board I was able to steal the pot, because he knows that I hate those kind of boards and I wouldn't just flat call twice and then lead out on the river when the board pairs on the 7 without actually having anything there. Now I didn't have anything there, but you know, he doesn't know that. I think he's gonna 3-bet here. No, he's not. Wow. Well, I have given up some buttons, so maybe he gives it respect now. Queen 4, don't actually want to see a flop here. Blinds are high enough that I want to give it up sometimes, and sometimes still want to play. Deuce 9, I'm also going to give up. Like 40 isn't that huge. Still have a 2-to-1 chip advantage. A bit more even, but 6 deuce I'm going to fold as well. That's three in a row that I fold. So no matter my hand here, I'm going to button raise. Well, it is a decent hand, like it's a suited queen. We totally miss. If he checks, I'm gonna check behind. If he bets, I'm gonna fold, I think. Although, I'm pretty sure if he leads, he actually has something. Like he has a pair, wants to see how good it is. Maybe has like the ace of diamonds and the 6 or something, like ace 6. Entirely possible that that is a hand he's going to go all in with. And I wouldn't understand it, like, it's a really good hand. 7-6 suited, real nice hand. Definitely gonna flat call here. We get a gut shot, but how good is our gut shot? Pretty bad, right? We also get a backdoor flush draw, so not gonna continue there. You can continue there if you really desire to, but I don't think I will, because if the 8 comes, I still think I'm beat. So, or I can still think I'm beat, like I might not be beat. I might just consider it to be a really good card for me, but the flop totally missed that suited connector, and you want to give it up there. So we're losing. We have lost about 700 here in the last hands. But I think we have to at that point. We have to sometimes. Like it's poker. You have upswings and downswings, of course. It's variance. That's how this game plays. Ace 5, definitely a really good flop for us, so let's see bet on it. We have a gut shot, we have an overcard, and we have not flush draw. And he's gonna continue, like, yet again, what did he float with? Like, I'm really curious, this hand, like, what does he float with? There's so many cards, even if you have 2 overcards, that you probably don't want to see. Like, maybe he has an open-ender, misses on the king and don't want to pay anymore. That I wouldn't understand. Maybe, yeah, but just 2 overs wouldn't be enough, would it? Like, why would you just play that with 2 overs? So he slowed down on his 3-betting, by the way. He hasn't 3-betted in a while. I saw him slowing down, so I was pretty sure he was gonna 3-bet. So he either figured that it was time to 3-bet, or he had a good hand. Like, both are possible there. I think it's more like it's been button raising, blinds are big enough, I can try to make a steal here. If he does it again, I'm obviously gonna call. I have a king. The 5 obviously doesn't make much difference, but the king is a good card. Like, this board, why would I c-bet on it? Like, which hands is it gonna fold? 2 overcards he's gonna call. Jack 9 is gonna call to at least see if an 8 comes. This board connects with so many hands that I don't think I would ever c-bet on it. Like, look at it. Imagine I c-bet and he just floats and this card comes and he leads out. What am I gonna do? And now he checks again and he's trapping or something. Just lead on it. You know it's a really scary card. Okay, I'm gonna check behind. He has an 8, I guess. Oh, he has the same hand. Well, that's a hand he could have folded, but I mean, there's not a lot of hands he's gonna fold on that flop if I c-bet there. He's just gonna look at it. Oh, he c-bets. I have an overcard. I guess I'll call. And I'll be like, yeah, I have no more information about this, because he can do that with so many hands on that board, like open-enders, gut shots, backdoor flush draws with an overcard, like so many cards that is gonna give me a hard time thinking on the turn. And you just don't want to do that, or at least I don't want to do that. Maybe poker theory says that you have to almost always c-bet. I don't know. I think you don't. I think there's plenty of situations where you don't want to c-bet. Like this board, I don't see why you would see bet unless you have an ace. Or maybe the 10 and protected 10, then 10-9 probably. Jack 8 definitely gonna button raise here. It's gonna 3-bet again, no. Ace King 4. Now this is a board you wanna c-bet on. Like, this is hard for him to continue on unless he has an ace or a king. Like the 4 probably not gonna be in his range unless he has like, yeah. So just stuff like that people seem to be weirded out about. 240, so let's go to 650. We'll 3-bet him once. 8's probably out of position, hard to play post flop, so just want to end the hand here. If he shoves, I'm obviously calling. I mean, I have 8. But my 3-betting range is way narrower than his, so I can throw in a bluff sometimes with it. And he has to respect it a bit more than I will to him, and he's gonna get more caught with his bluffs. Plus, I'm gonna 4-bet him lighter, and so on and so on. So let's call with a king. Totally miss. Good. This is a decent board to c-bet on. Like, there's no flush draws. There's no possibility of an overcard. You have position. Jack 7, not gonna play it. Don't wanna play that hand. It's been even for a while now. Like, we've been going a bit up, a bit down, but 7-8, do wanna see a flop. He just limps, which is a bit trappy, I think. I'm gonna call here, and now I'm gonna check raise. Now let's just bet. Like, if I check raise, I just risk more chips. He's just gonna flat call. See what I do here. So he probably has an ace and doesn't want to give it up. This looks really heavy on the value range, 475, a bit under half pot. So we should give this a bit more respect than if I go 600 or something. 600 seems way too bluffy. And he has to be really scared of this board. Like, queens pairing might not even make his 10 high flush good enough. I think there's plenty of situations where he's willing to lay this down. And if he's not, I'm just gonna lose some chips. Maybe my 8 is good. No, he has a flush. He has a too high flush. Good call, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I would call there with a too high flush. Because every diamond has been beat. Paired board, so your flush might not even be good. I even had him beat on that flop. Wow. Who would have known, huh? So 3-7, 2 bad hands in a row. No clue why these ship motions are so slow. Like, it's online. Seriously, there's no need to do that. You can just do it really fast. We flop basically the nuts. We're just gonna be calling him here, and then leading out on the river. Like 1,250. It's a bit annoying that it's a diamond, but I think if he shoves, I have to call. Like, I have the nuts straight. So he's vomiting. Just because it's a diamond, I guess he's scared. So he obviously doesn't have the flush. He's scared of the pair board, I guess. So maybe the diamond is a bit bad for me. Like, he had 7-8 or something. I don't know. I was just trapping him with the nuts. Ace Jack, definitely 3-betting here. I think 825 if it goes to 300. Give him enough value to call, maybe. Yeah. Totally missed that, but we are gonna continue on it. Like, his range might also miss the king. Like, he could have ace 10, maybe ace 9. That would be pretty bad. But I think there's plenty of hands that are gonna fall there. Plus I 3-bet, so he could easily give me the king there. 5-4, I'll fold. Blind's going up again. So he has 14 bigs. King Jack, definitely 3-betting him here. Like I think this is way ahead of his button raise range. That I'm willing to get it all in here. No, I'm not gonna do that. Although his limping scares me a little bit because it might seem really, it's really trappy. We hit the jack, so we're just gonna continue here for 750 or something. If he shoves, I'm insta calling. Like we have top pair, second kicker. Only ace jack has me there or a set. Wow, nines, really nice hand. Please shove, call, insta call. Queen 10, so he does have 2 overs. Hit a set, he has a jack as an out. Still a jack as an out. Doesn't get there, so we win. What? No, you're kidding me, right? Come on. Wow, I totally thought I had that. I didn't even realize he had an open ender there. We totally missed, but I think he's willing to give up a lot there. We're just gonna check it down. He probably doesn't have anything here. Like if he bets, I might even call. Yeah, he's just giving up that hand. I think he knows that if he bets there, I'm gonna call with an ace high. And he's willing to throw it away. Like this is what I mean with paired boards. Like, why would he bluff on that? It's so risky to bluff on a board like that. Jack 10, so we need to hit runner. So I'm not gonna continue there. Seven three, gonna fold. Six four, obviously gonna call here. They're suited, so he just limps, so I'm willing to just call here. We have a gut shot and a flush draw, so I'm obviously gonna call here on his c-bet. If he ever c-bets. Am I willing to get it all in? I don't think so. It's a bit too soon. Like the king is there. I'm not sure if a 6 or 4 would be even good. That seemed a bit trappy. Like why would you check there unless he had nothing? Maybe he was scared of the king or something. And then the jack comes, so maybe he has like a weak pocket. But that seems unlikely. With a weak pocket he would have at least not limped. Let's see bet here. We do still have an overcard. He calls. We hit nothing. So we'll check behind and check behind again. See what he called me with. Pocket deuces. Yeah, still fine. So if I continued there, he would have folded, I guess. It's hard for me to continue on that board twice though. Like sometimes you just have to give up pots. Blind's going up again. And this blind level, it's more of a gamble. Like even the 9s against the queen 10. It's sometimes a gamble. Like I was ahead, but he had 2 overs to were connected. And that's why he limps, because he realizes that at this blind level, it's really hard to just go pre-flop all in on things. Now I'm gonna... Oh, I can't bet that. Okay. I'm gonna bet on this. Like the 9 probably won't be good, but at least this board is scary enough to fold him. Especially after he limped, like this board is really scary. And being able to lead out on it is really good. Like if he calls here, we're playing a pot of 1,000. Now a check here probably makes him think that I have an ace. So if he bets here, he probably has something. Like it seems unlikely that he doesn't. I just want to see what he has here. So I even win the hand. I don't see why I would place a bet there. I only get a called by a bare hand. No, we actually have a pretty decent hand here, so I'm gonna bet it. Was thinking about just checking, but I think out of position. I want to bet that. Pre-flop 7-5. I'm gonna give up here. Don't need to attack here. We're crawling back into the position where we can go into an all-in situation. And then get there. Ace queen, really good hand. Let's see what he does to my 3-bet here, because this is basically saying, hey man, I'm willing to get it all in. I have a really good hand, and he's giving it up. Yeah, he got the message. Another raise on the button, so even if he 3-bets here, I'm gonna shove. I have an ace, so a check here is always fine. Just checking. Don't think that 4 hit him. Like it might have, and just got paid off. The 7 actually hit him, I guess. Like yeah, this is what I mean. Like, why would he ever bet on a board like this unless he actually has anything? And that's the answer. You don't, unless you actually have something. We have an open ender, so let's bet it here. Like this might seem like it was a really good trap, because we checked on the. This is why you often lead out on the turn, because if you check on the flop and then lead on turn, it seems trappy. Like, hey, you got a really good hand pre-flop, and you played in such a way that seemed like you were trying to extract more chips from him. And it is something I often do in cash games. Like, I just want to get more chips out of my opponents. I have a really good hand, ace jack, heads up, so he's thinking about this, what to do with it. So maybe he has a really big hand, or he doesn't. But I'll find out right now. Like 800 is definitely in a calling range. So I think if he shoves here, he actually has a good hand. But I'm gonna call. Like I have ace jack. Oh, it's a coin flip even. So still an ace or jack. Still an ace or jack. Don't get there. Like that's 2 coin flips, I lose. Pretty terrible. Like I'm basically outplaying him. Like don't look at it like I'm losing this. I'm not playing it. I just lost 2 coin flips. This is why I hate tournament play and prefer cash play, because in tournaments you need to win coin flips. In cash games it really doesn't matter. Like if you lose a coin flip in cash games, who the hell cares? In tournaments you have to play into a position where you can call a coin flip, and then if you lose a coin flip, don't give a shit about it because you still have a decent stack. But you're gonna get crippled so often that you are forced to then take a coin flip if you lose one already, and then that is GG to your tournament. Like I don't like that kind of format. And even with rebuys, I hate it because then you just have to invest more money. If we min raise, we're basically saying, hey, we have a really strong hand. Like shoving shows weaker than min raising. That's just the way it is. We have ace 9. If he bets here, I'm obviously shoving. Like ace 9 is not heads up, especially suited. So yeah, do something about it. You can definitely call here. It would put us even again. Maybe he even has me dominated, like ace 7, ace 8. I am putting on that range here. Like I don't see, and even if he calls, he would have most of the time a 40-60 to just win the tournament flat out. Like I think I would have called there. I think I would have called there often enough. Ace 4, definitely not in his range. So let's just check behind to see what comes. Jack could be in his range. But the fact that he's checking here, I think I check behind and then another raise comes. He has like king high here. I'm gonna fold it. Like I'm putting him on the jack. Like I don't see why he would suddenly check on the turn and not lead out, unless he hit that jack. So I think he has a jack there. Like I could have shoved, but that would have been the end. Jack 2, I'm obviously gonna fold or check, of course. Again, a paired board. Like, I hate paired boards. He knows that, and he c-bets, and he knows that I can't actually float. I really need to have something before I can do something. Bottom with a king, insta shove, like easy shove there. Get a call by king queen, so we're dominated. Runner straight or 6. That doesn't change anything, and there's a 6. So yay me, get lucky once. Lost 2 coin flips. I don't think he can be complaining about this. Now we have the king queen. So we would have shoved if he did something. Like blinds at this point make a tournament format a bit annoying because you can't actually play poker. Like look at it, I mean raise. If he calls, I only have like a bit over a pot. Like it's just not fair. We hit 2 pair, so we're just gonna check it. Check it again. I don't think I need to bluff there. He can call me off here with something, I guess. There are plenty of hands he can call off there. And now I'm in the lead. Again, yeah, I think he can call off there with a lot of cards, which is why I slow play it twice. Of course, if a heart comes, I need to be a bit more scared, but I don't think he's gonna check it twice if he has a draw there. I'm back out a little late, and that's how fast it can go with his blind level. Like 400, we only play 10 blinds amongst ourselves. Like, what am I saying? 25 blinds amongst ourselves, so it's not even a huge amount. You just can't afford just calling. You have to fold a bunch of hands. A6, definitely my shoving range. Let's just shove and say like, hey man, this tournament has been going on long enough that I think we're at the point where we have to shove here pre-flop often. But he folded it. I'm a bit surprised by that. I think I would call with any 2 here, unless they're really low cards. Now I have folded 2 or 3 hands in a row, so you should realize I'm not doing that with nothing. Queen 8, I guess I'll call. But look at it, like we're playing a pot of 1,600, and now what? What are you gonna do right now? Like, it's so unrealistic to play this, and it even goes up. So we have 20 big blinds amongst ourselves. He has a bit over 10. I have a bit less than 10. Like, it's not even possible to play poker at this level. At this point, it just becomes a crapshoot. And this is another reason why I hate tournament play. And hate is said a lot, but I dislike it. I dislike it often. Because worse players have a better situation in this spot, right? Because they can just go all in, all in, all in. It doesn't matter because you still have like 30%, 40%, they still can get lucky and knock you out. And that's why tournament formats are often disliked by a lot of people, and why the WSOP main eventers and stuff are often won by, you know, worse players. Just shove, like, seriously dude, stop trying to play poker and just shove here. Like, I'm gonna shove way too often, you'll notice that, but king, insta shove, just do whatever you want to it. You got 8s, nice, I got an overcard. We hit our overcard, so there's that. And he misses his, so we win, yay! So hard. See, this is what I mean, like, he has the advantage, still has to dodge and doesn't get there. Let's just shove here. Like, he's obviously gonna call, but we have an ace. So, but even now he has 40-60, hits his 2. So now we're behind, need to hit an ace or 7. And this is why it's bad poker play. Like, it's not interesting to play tournaments at this point. In the stage, it's just shoving, calling, shoving, calling. Like, he shoves, I'm gonna insta call. It doesn't even matter. He can fold here if he wants, but I'm gonna call whatever he does here. Yeah, I'm gonna call. I just said it. I'm gonna call. I'm willing to take this hand. Like, yeah, I hit my 7, he hit his 10. Yay, yay, wow, poker, hard. No, it's not. It's just crapshoot. And blind levels are ridiculous at this point. And it's a stupid format. Like, I hate tournament play. And this is the main reason why. It's you can't play tournaments at later stage unless you have been shipping up, and you have to dodge so many random crap, like getting called by worse hand, getting called by flush draws, and then avoiding it. Because if they hit it and they're behind, but they make a misstep, or they're trying to bluff you. Like, I've just watched the WSOP main event of 2008. And this guy bluffs with 2 overcards, and it's like 2-5-8 on the board. He has ace-9. The other guy has pocket sixes. Pocket sixes lead or something, or he leads. Pocket sixes re-raises, or pocket sixes lead, and he shoves. Pocket sixes stinks, and calls. Like it's an amazing call. There's an overcard. The other guy could have an overpair. Like it's an amazing call. But he still has the Dutch and ace or 9. Like the guy makes a misstep, you make the amazing call, and the guy still gets there. And then he short stack, has to shove at another point, gets called by a worse hand again, or maybe a better hand, and he loses. Like that's poker, I guess. But how can that ever be appealing to take part in? Like, why is a cash game not better? Because you want to play those percentages, you don't care about those percentages. I think those percentages are fine at that point. And even if you take a bad beat, you just reload and keep on playing the same game. Like, it doesn't matter. But in tournaments, it's your entire tournament that's gone. I hit the 10, but why doesn't he see better? I think I'm gonna give it up, although I hit the 10. Like, I find it really weird that it doesn't see better on that flop. King Jack, Queen Jack, sure, just shove. And he's been giving up his blinds. He's just looking for a situation where it's gonna turn out well for him. But I'm just gonna keep on shoving here. Like, even if he calls this, I'm just gonna shove. And then what? Okay, I have an ace. Yay, more money for me. And at this point, even if he calls, I have the advantage because I'm gonna fold this one because I have been showing a really high amount of aggression. I think he's willing to call here at this point. So we're gonna look for a decent position to shove, like any ace, any king, I guess. There's an ace, so yeah. And another 600 gone from his stack. So even if he calls, we will go to a 6,000, 4,000 situation. Ace king, really nice. Yeah, insta call, like ace king. King jack, so only have to avoid the jack. There's the jack, of course, because, I mean, why not, right? And this is why it's a terrible game. It's so ridiculous. Like, this is suckout after suckout after suckout. I've gotten it in bad like dominated, and I've gotten out of it like with the king 6 against the king queen. He gets it in bad pre right now and gets there. Like, this isn't poker anymore. It's just a crapshoot, and it's not entertaining for no one, not for players, not for you guys watching this. Like, I assume most of you would have already logged out at this point. Like, what's the point in watching this? The blinds are 700. He has 10 bigs. I have no bigs, basically. I have to shove with any 2 here. Like, I'm not even gonna fold this. Like, I'm gonna shove 2-4 of hearts just because I have to. And my hand is even bust. Yeah, at this point I didn't even have a chance to win it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next one.